I'm stressing about this exam Miller gave us. Some of this stuff is pretty obscure.
Don't ask me. I haven't been to class much.
Is it all in the text, or did we cover it in lecture?
I wish we could work on it together, but Miller was pretty explicit about that.
Yeah, your work must be your own.
No joint efforts.
What sense is there in that?
You can practice on my homework anytime you want to.
I mean, after all, we're engineers. We're supposed to work together in teams. We need the practice.
You'll do fine, don't worry, you always do.
I don't know. I have no idea where to start.
Are you going to the SIGAT party tonight?
Definitely. I'm there. How's Miller's exam going?
No, we're fast. I wish we could work on it together.
I've already finished.
What? It's not due till Tuesday.
And I know I'm going to get 100 on this exam.
Oh, great wise one. Tell me, how dost thou plan to do that?
Promise you won't tell anyone?
Sure.
I mean, really promise?
Okay, I promise.
I found this book in the library that has the entire exam solved as example problems. Miller lifted the whole test.
Wow.
Keep it to yourself, okay? I don't want anyone else to know about this, especially Miller.
Awesome. What book?
Mechanics for Engineers by Stubing. It's ancient, from around 1930, but the problems are identical.
Tom, you're an angel.
Where did this weekend go? I must have had a great time. I can't remember a thing. I totally passed out Saturday night, and Sunday was impossible.
Did you forget about Miller's exam?
Damn! I haven't even started it. Have you finished it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. How am I going to get it done? I feel like puking. My head throbs, and I got to do a take-home? Damn!
I can help you, but you gotta keep really quiet about it.
You would?
Oh, we're not gonna work on it together. Just go to the engineering library and look at Mechanics for Engineers by Stubbing.
Okay. Oh, I get it. Mary, you're a true friend. What's happening this weekend?
I don't know. I don't feel much like partying. Got my Miller midterm back. Pulled a 65.
Bummer.
Oh, how about you?
I got 100.
How'd you manage that? You haven't been taking this course even remotely seriously.
Well, Mary told me Miller took the exam out of a book in the library, so I just went over and copied it. Easiest 100 I ever got.
And you didn't tell me. Some friend.
I didn't find out about it until Monday night, and Mary swore me to secrecy. I couldn't tell you.
I don't care. That was a rotten thing to do.
Well, I'm sure your 65 wasn't the worst grade in the class, but I'm also sure you could have done better.
Yeah, I'm sure too.
Is there anything on the test you want me to explain to you?
Actually, I didn't come here to talk about my exam exactly.
What did you come here for, exactly?
I think you should know that some people didn't do their own work on this exam.
What do you mean?
Someone found out you took the test from an old mechanics book. For all I know, whoever got 100 copied it right out of the book. All those perfect scores, they just make me look worse than I already do. It just doesn't seem fair.
Well, there's nothing wrong using old problems for an exam.
But shouldn't they be your problems?
Who found the book?
I know at least 2 people who did, but I don't want to tell you their names.
Well, Mark, if you won't tell me, what am I going to do?
And of course, the sources could be wide-ranging. Much of the most useful material is scattered in trade journals. The scholarly journals won't be of much use. Academics don't usually get down and dirty. Industrial waste treatment is so specialized and applied that most academic researchers don't feel they get credit for their work. So, in a way, this will be like a treasure hunt. Good luck. See you on Tuesday.
The electroplating industry. Good grief. Why did I have to get that one? There's probably nothing on it in the library.
How would you like to have mine? The brewing industry? Those guys are probably so secretive about their process it won't even be in the reference index.
But now you'll get to find out all about how beer is made. A secret I've often wanted to discover.
This is going to take too much time. We're seniors. Aren't they supposed to let up on us now?
Let me know when they do. Hi guys. Nerding it again, I see. What you doing?
The industrial waste paper.
You found any good stuff for it?
Yeah, we found the gold mine.
Industrial wastewater treatment by Nemerov.
It's a few years old, but each chapter is a description of an industry.
I'm just going to extract the chapter on paint manufacturing and use it as my paper, with a few minor additions, a little updating. I'm almost finished.
You mean you're going to copy a chapter from this book and use it for your paper?
Neat, eh?
You can't do that.
Why not?
Because it's cheating.
Cheating? We're preparing a paper for a professor. He told us to find the best sources we could. We found a very good source. Why is that cheating?
Well, he didn't expect you to copy it word for word out of something.
He didn't say not to.
Of course not. He assumed you knew that.
Well, I didn't know that. In high school in my home country, we routinely copied entire chapters and turned them in as papers.
There's nothing wrong with that. You had an assignment and you wrote the paper. How much you copied was never an issue.
So just because it was okay there, you think it's okay here?
Why not?
I couldn't answer her.
Don't students ever cheat in American high schools?
Well, yeah, but they know they're cheating. I mean, that's how I got through my high school English class as a junior. I had a vocabulary list in my shirt pocket, and I could look down whenever I couldn't remember the words. I knew I was cheating, but everyone did it. Winhai and Carla don't even know that they're plagiarizing.
So is their plagiarizing worse than what you did?
I don't know. I know I was scared of getting caught.
I must admit things were different in my own high school back home. For example, here in America, doing homework problems together is routine and nobody considers it cheating. In my high school, we were not allowed to even discuss our homework problems, much less work together. We never shared information like that because we would have been kicked out of school altogether, no questions asked. My father would have disowned me. I would have become an outcast from my own family. A few of us ever even thought about cheating. All it took was one student once in a while to get caught, and the rest of us were scared stiff.
How can plagiarism be wrong here, but not wrong somewhere else?
And if it's not wrong somewhere else, why is it wrong here? Aren't you applying your own provincial values?
But I'm sure I'm right.
What makes you so sure?
The worst part about this situation is what to do next. Should I tell Schilling or keep quiet? If they get caught, they'll get in trouble.
Or will they? What if they get called in front of the Judiciary Board and say, we didn't know it was wrong?
Is that a defense?
Or suppose they get suspended or kicked out of school altogether. How would you feel then?
What should I do?
pain about Mech 1 are the labs. You gotta sit there and take all the data.
You already know what the results are supposed to be, and still you gotta take the data.
Why don't they just give us the data and we can write the reports?
But really, the amount of time we waste in the lab really sucks.
Yeah, I remember doing those same labs.
And you gotta be careful with the labs because the TA grades you on how good the results are. Can you imagine that?
So you gotta stay in that stupid lab and waste your time getting the data that you already know you should get and get graded on it. Really stupid.
If you really hate it so much, why don't you substitute your own data?
I like the way you think. But that's hard to do, Marlon.
We record all data on computers, and the software programs reduce it for us. The original data are stored in the master program.
And eagle-eye Michelle is always stalking about.
She's a good TA.
Yeah, but sometimes she's there too much, if you know what I mean.
What if you had the data beforehand, and you simply recorded what you had prepared instead of what you read?
Wouldn't that be cheating, though?
Why would that be cheating? We could get the data from some old lab reports and improve our numbers so that they would be perfect. When we do the experiment, we'll simply record the numbers as we go along. We won't have to worry about accuracy, and we'll be done a lot sooner.
I don't know. Is bringing data into the lab cheating? Is it plagiarism? Or can you even plagiarize numbers?
We won't be plagiarizing anything. We'll be making up numbers, and we won't be copying them from anyone. We'll get some old lab reports out of the file cabinet and fabricate the data. There's nothing wrong with that. Marlon, you're a genius.
I don't know. This doesn't feel right.
Well, you don't have to do it. Enoch is my lab partner. He'll go for it.
12.8 Newton meters, 15 degrees. 12.9 Newton meters, 17 degrees.
Dr. Christian? I think we have a problem.
Oh.
It seems that some of the students in the Mech 1 lab are using invalid data. It appears that they're not using the data they're actually reading, but some other data, probably from some old lab reports. What should I do?
If they just get some data and do the lab, that's all we're asking of them.
But they're not using their own data.
But it might be valid data, and they'll learn just as much.
But isn't that deceitful?
Michelle, the world is full of deceit. I don't think what they're doing is terribly bad, and to make a case of it would be horribly time-consuming. First, we would have to prove to the judicial board that what they were doing was deceitful. Then we would have to listen to the board pontificate about academic ethics, and they probably wouldn't do anything to the students. I've seen this over and over. It's just not worth the trouble. Let them have their fun. Besides, I think it's pretty ingenious. If you think something should be done, then you handle it.
I still say it's important.
Why?
I don't know. Gut feeling. The worst part is, I used to use old lab reports when I was an undergrad.
You're kidding.
No, we all did it. Sometimes I even copied entire discussions.
Did you know you were plagiarizing?
Plagiarizing? No. It never occurred to me. Because the material wasn't published.
If it's intellectual property and it's not yours, it's plagiarizing.
Even lab reports?
I'm afraid so. What are you going to do?
For starters, try to stop being such a hypocrite.
Well, you didn't know it was wrong then, but now you do.
I don't think they know it's wrong.
Well, somebody ought to tell them.
Christian's the one who should do something, but she thinks it's a joke. She thinks teaching's dispensing technical information, but there's more to it than that. She's got a moral responsibility.
You've got a moral responsibility, and you've got a conscience. The question is, what would you do if you were in her shoes?
Carefully add dropwise from the burette the 1 molar sodium hydroxide solution to the flask until the color changes from pink to yellow. Record the milliliters of the 1 molar solution added.
Okay,
Careful with that.
I got it.
This isn't so bad. I thought the chem lab was going to be a real bear, but at least the instructions are understandable.
Did you have much chemistry in high school?
Yeah, 2 semesters.
That's why you think this is so easy.
I was going to take the advanced placement in it, but I decided not to. My parents thought a biomedical engineer should have a strong background in chemistry, so I have to take all the college courses.
I had one very poor course in chemistry in high school. Almost no lab. The school just didn't have the money, they said. Anyway, before this lab, I wouldn't have known a burette if I had tripped over one.
I suppose it does make a difference. Claire told me she wanted to do pre-med, but she's having real trouble with this course. Irv, did you see that?
I'm not sure. What do you think you saw?
Claire just poured water in that bottle. That messes up the whole molarity of that titration solution for that lab setup.
Why would she do that? Is it a prank?
Pretty serious prank. No, I think she wanted those people to get incorrect lab results so hers would look better by comparison.
Come on, you've been watching too much television.
No, why else? Wow, Irv, let's mix up some 1 molar hydrochloric acid and test the molarity of our sodium hydroxide solution. She could have messed ours up.
Hey, Alice, what's up?
Doing some chem research?
Yeah, and I'm really struggling. My folks want me to go to med school, so I have to get an A in Chem 1. It's so hard, though. It's taking up all of my time.
Claire, I have to talk to you about something.
Sure, what's that?
I saw you sabotage that chem experiment yesterday.
What chem experiment? What are you talking about?
I saw you change the molarity of the solution in the other bench.
Well, I didn't change yours.
I know. We tested it.
So then what concern is it of yours?
What you did was wrong.
Hey, chill out.
Why'd you do it?
Your experiment wasn't affected. Why do you care?
Well,
Look, all I did was mess up their results a little bit. They'll probably have fun trying to explain the discrepancies, and maybe they'll get extra points for fancy footwork. Those labs are just grunt work anyway. Nobody learns anything. They're just there to make chem that much harder.
I'm sure that...
Look, it's a dog-eat-dog world, sweetheart, and I plan to win. If I have to mess up a couple of experiments to get into med school, I'll do it.
Aren't you afraid I'll turn you in?
Good luck. The reagents are long gone. It'll be your word against mine. No judicial review board will listen to you. So bug off.
And did you?
Yeah, and I felt so helpless.
So what are you going to do now?
I'm thinking about going to the judicial review board with this. My lab partner and I both saw her do it, so it wouldn't just be my word against hers. But what if the board believes us? Claire will get punished in some way, but what will they do to her?
I guess at the very least you'll get an official reprimand, maybe even a suspension. Whatever happens, there will be a permanent blot on her record.
What about medical school?
I don't know, but if the reprimand were to stay on her record, I'm sure it would count against her.
So if she doesn't get into medical school, she'll blame me for the rest of her life.
Probably.
Great.
But if you don't go to the Judy board, how will you feel about yourself? Suppose Claire gets into medical school and carries her get-ahead-at-all-costs philosophy with her. Do you think she'll be a very good doctor? Would you want the medical profession to be littered with people who cheat to get into medical school? Isn't it your responsibility to keep that from happening?
Come on, what do I look like, the guardian of the medical profession? I come here for advice and you give me a sermon on my responsibilities.
Well, we all have responsibilities, Alice.
Yeah, but not to be rat thinks.
Is that what you think you'll be if you do this?
Yeah. No. I don't know.